My name is Lala. I am Lala, a flight attendant who has worked for one of the country's most reputable airlines for 5 years. Standing at 170 centimeters tall, with fair skin, an elegant neck, and long hair always neatly tied up in a bun as per the airline's regulations. Many say I look graceful and professional. I always take care of my appearance because it is part of my job, especially my long hair, which often draws attention. Amidst my busy routine, I am in a relationship with Adrian, a pilot at the same airline. Adrian is a charismatic man with a calm and authoritative demeanor. We often work together, and that is how our relationship grew. He seemed perfect in my eyes until one day I discovered a side of him I never imagined existed. It all began when we were staying at a hotel in Bali after a long flight. I had just finished showering, wearing pajamas, with my hair loose and damp. Adrian looked at me with a different glint in his eyes, as if there was something he wanted to say but was hesitant. Lala, he said softly, do you know how truly beautiful your hair is? I smiled, feeling flattered. Thank you, honey. You always say that. But I don't just like your hair. I feel there's something more to it. I furrowed my brow, confused. What do you mean? He moved closer, stroking my damp hair gently. I have an interest that might sound strange. I really love women's hair, especially long, beautiful hair, and when it's cut. My heart skipped a bit. Cut? You like watching women cut their hair? He nodded, his face serious. I've never told anyone this before, but I feel comfortable with you, so I want to be honest. I was silent for a moment, processing his confession. Part of me felt confused, but another part was curious. So, you want me to cut my hair? I asked, trying to understand. It doesn't mean you have to cut it, Lala, he quickly said. I just wanted you to know. If one day you want to do it, I would cherish that want so much. Our relationship changed after that. I started noticing how he looked at my hair every time I brushed or tied it up. Sometimes he will gently ask me to undo my bun when we were alone, just to touch and play with my hair. One night, I decided to surprise him. I sat in front of the mirror with a small pair of scissors in my hand. Adrian sat on the sofa, watching me with an eager gaze. I'm not promising I like short hair, I said with a smile, but I want to try, for you. Adrian was quiet, his eyes shining. I began to cut the ends of my hair slowly, hearing a sigh of admiration from him. However, I only cut a little, just enough to see his reaction. When I was done, I looked at him with a nervous smile. How is it? He moved closer and hugged me tightly. Lala, you're amazing. I really appreciate you being willing to try this for me. Our relationship grew deeper after that. I learned to accept this unique side of him, while he also respected my decision to keep my hair long. We understood that love is about accepting and making space for each other to be ourselves. A confession at high altitude. One day, Adrienne and I were scheduled to fly together. As usual, I looked immaculate in my dark blue flight attendant's uniform, complete with my long hair neatly tied up in a bun. The flight went smoothly, and the passengers seemed comfortable enjoying their journey. Adrian, in the cockpit, would occasionally contact me via the intercom to ask about the cabin's condition. As a pilot, he was highly professional, yet there was something different in his voice that day, as if he had something planned. When the flight reached cruising altitude, I was making sure the gallery area was clean when one of the co-pilots stepped out of the cockpit to take a short break. Adrian took the opportunity to contact me via the intercom. Lala, can you come in for a moment? There's something I need to talk about. I furrowed my brow. Talk about what? Now? I asked quietly. You'll see. Hurry, it's safe, he said in a calm and captivating tone. With a hint of hesitation, I walked toward the cockpit. As soon as I entered, Adrian asked me to step into the small toilet near the cockpit, something very unusual. Adrian, what is this? Why here? I asked, half whispering. He smiled, his eyes gleaming with longing. I can't hold back anymore, Lala. I need to see your hair. Before I could reply, he gently untied my bun, letting my long hair fall loose. He touched it slowly, playing with each strand between his warm fingers. Adrian, we can't stay here long, I said, half whispering, half nervous. I know, he said with a small smile, but I just want a few minutes to savor this. Your hair always captivates me. I could only manage a small smile, even though the situation felt strange. Yet, beneath the awkwardness, I also felt Adrian's sincerity. A few minutes later, he fixed my hair back, tying it neatly like an expert. Thank you, Lala. I promise I won't disturb you again during the flight. I sighed and shook my head with a small smile. You're really weird, but I still love you. He chuckled softly, then walked me out of the cockpit. That day, I realized something more about Adrian. He might have a unique side, but that's what makes me love him even more. At 35,000 feet, I knew our relationship was not just about loving each other, but also accepting each other's quirkiest parts. Change in the sky. Our relationship continued in its own unique way. Every time we flew together, Adrian always found a way to spend time with me, whether in between flights or during hotel stays. I grew accustomed to how he treated my hair as something precious. At first, I felt odd, but slowly I realized this was part of who he was, a unique side that made him different from other men. But there was one flight that changed everything. That day, the flight went smoothly as usual. Passengers seemed at ease, and cabin duties went without a hitch. After serving the passengers' lunch, Adrian called me back to the cockpit via the intercom. Lala, can you come here for a minute? I need help, he said in a normal tone, making me not suspect a thing. After making sure the cabin was under control, I headed to the cockpit. This time, Adrian took me straight to the small toilet near the cockpit. I followed without asking much. As soon as the door closed, I was stunned to see him pull something from his small bag, a hair clipper. His face was serious, but there was a spark of excitement in his eyes. Adrian, what does this mean? I asked, half whispering, my heart pounding fast. Lala, he said in a gentle voice, I know this might be too much, but I've wanted to do this for so long. I want to cut your hair. I want you to trust me. I fell silent, confused. My long hair was a big part of me, something I'd always taken care of. But at the same time, I felt a sense of helplessness every time I looked at his face. I loved him, loved all his quirks, even this one. Adrian, it's too soon, I said quietly, trying to explain. He nodded, honoring my doubt. I won't force you, Lala, but I want you to know I cherish it more than anything if you'd agree. Adrian grinned widely, like a kid who'd gotten his dream gift. With great care, he untied my bun, letting my long hair fall free. I could feel his fingers trembling slightly as he started cutting section by section. The sound of the clipper filled the small room, and I could only close my eyes, feeling my hair fall to the floor. It took a few minutes before he finished. Adrian showed me the result through his phone camera, a neat short bob, much shorter than I'd ever imagined, but still beautiful. "How is it, Lala?" he asked in a worried tone. I stared at my reflection on the screen. There was a strange feeling seeing myself with hair this short, but I also felt relieved. "Oh my God, Adrian, I can't believe I actually did this, but I like it. Simple and practical." He smiled with relief, then hugged me tightly. "You're amazing, Lala. Thank you for trusting me." From that day on, short hair became a new part of me. Adrian praised me more often, saying how fresh and beautiful I looked. I also felt more at ease with this cut. No more hassle of tying my hair up every day. At thousands of feet high, I learned that true love is about accepting and being brave enough to change for the person you love. Desire at high altitude. After my hair was cut short, many said I looked fresher, sexier, and more alluring. With my elegant neck now more exposed, plus my well-proportioned body, I felt people's stares on me become different. But no one was more captivated than Adrian. Since my hair was cut, Adrian's desire for me seemed to grow stronger. His eyes often couldn't leave me, especially when I was busy in the cabin or when my short hair was slightly messy. I never imagined that one day, in the middle of our flight routine, everything would become so intense. That day, as usual, we were on a long flight to Tokyo. Adrian seemed calmer than usual, but I could see something in his demeanor. Every time I walked past the cockpit, he'd glance at me with a look I couldn't quite place. Secret routine. During a break from duties, Adrian called me to the cockpit toilet, a routine that had become our little secret. At first, I thought it was like always, where he just wanted to touch my hair or look at me closer. But this time was different. As soon as I entered, Adrian locked the door immediately. His gaze shifted to one of pure desire, unlike ever before. "Lala?" he said in a low voice, almost a whisper. "I can't hold back anymore." "Adrian?" I asked, even though I already knew the answer in my heart. He moved closer, his fingers touching my short hair, stroking it gently. "You look so irresistible, Lala. Your short hair, your elegant neck, everything drives me crazy. I want more than this." I fell silent, feeling my body shake. Part of me knew this shouldn't be happening, especially in such a small space. But when Adrian touched my cheek, looking at me with eyes full of love and desire, I felt powerless. "Lala, I love you," he whispered before pulling me into his embrace. Without more words, I let it all happen. Conflicted, but loving. I knew it was wrong, but I also knew I loved him more than I could say. In that small room, we melted into a desire and love that could no longer be contained. When it was over, we both sat in silence for a moment, looking at each other with still racing breaths. "Adrian," I said softly, "you know this is crazy, right?" He nodded with a small smile. "I know, Lala, but I couldn't hold back. You're everything to me." That day became a moment I'd never forget. Risky, but meaningful. Even though it was full of risk, I realized our relationship had crossed beyond ordinary boundaries. United and sure, at thousands of feet high, our love and desire became one, making me more certain than ever that Adrian was the man I'd never let go of.
That day, at thousands of feet high, I felt I had given everything to Adrian, from my beautiful hair that was once one of my prides to the most precious thing in my life. Our relationship had gone beyond what I'd ever imagined, and I could no longer deny how deep my love for him was. When I went back to my seat after that moment, I felt conflicted. There was a hint of soreness between my thighs, something I'd never felt before. I knew what had just happened was a huge step in my life, a moment that would change me forever. I closed my eyes, trying to soothe myself. The pain was real, but there was a warmth I couldn't ignore, the feeling that I had given everything for the man I loved. Adrian, on the other hand, seemed more attentive than ever. When we returned to the hotel after the flight, he kept making sure I was okay. "Lala," he said in a gentle tone, holding my hand, "I'm sorry if I was too hasty earlier. I couldn't hold back my feelings for you." I looked at him and gave a small smile. "Adrian, I know. I did it because I love you too. Even though it hurt a little, I don't regret it." He hugged me tightly, kissing my forehead with deep affection. "You're everything to me, Lala. I'll always take care of you." That night, even though my body still felt a little uncomfortable, I felt Adrian's love was so deep. I knew I had surrendered everything to him, and I didn't regret that decision. In his arms, I felt safe, certain that our relationship would keep growing stronger, even if the outside world might never understand the love we shared. Routine turned habit. After that night, our relationship felt even more intense. Adrian seemed to find new ways to show his love, though sometimes I felt it crossed a line. What was once a rare moment in the plane's toilet began to become a sort of routine every time we flew together. Taking opportunities, during breaks in the flight, Adrian always found a way to call me to the cockpit. At first, he only wanted to touch my now short hair, stroke my neck, or just hug me tightly. But as time passed, his courage grew. He started holding my hand longer, kissing my cheek quickly, even sometimes pulling me into the small cockpit toilet for something more intimate. I often tried to say no, though I knew it was hard for me to resist. I loved him, and I knew he loved me. Yet this situation started to make me anxious. Could we keep hiding this forever? One day, in the middle of a flight to Sydney, Adrian called me as usual. I felt hesitant to go to the cockpit this time because the cabin was quite busy, but his voice sounded urgent. "Lala, please come here for a minute. I need you," he said over the intercom. I entered cautiously, making sure no one noticed. As soon as the cockpit door closed, Adrian pulled me straight into the toilet. Worried, reminding him, "Adrian, we can't keep doing this," I said in a low voice, trying to remind him. Desiring and ignoring limits, he looked at me with eyes full of desire. "Lala, I know it's wrong, but I can't hold back and I see you. You're too irresistible." Sighing, trying to compose myself, I suggested a better place. "Adrian, we can do this in a safer place, not here, not while we're working." Smiling, reassuring, but he only gave a small smile, then moved closer and hugged me tightly. "I promise this is the last time, Lala. I just need you right now." Giving in, conflicted. I knew I should refuse, but my love and dependence on Adrian made me surrender again. Bolder than before, in that small space, I let him take control once more. But this time, something was different, as if Adrian was bolder, more forgetful of boundaries. Heart racing, acting professional, When it was over, I walked out with a racing heart, trying to keep a professional demeanor in front of the passengers and crew. Bigger risk. Even though no one noticed, I knew the risk we were taking was getting bigger. Questioning